You want change? You want success? Then get up. Stop waiting for motivation to strike. Stop sitting around hoping things will get better. You can't keep waiting for the perfect moment or for someone to push you. The truth is, there is no right moment. The only moment is now. And right now, you have work to do. By the end of this, you'll understand why laziness is your enemy and how to break free from it once and for all. Listen to me carefully. You are the only thing standing between you and your dreams. Not your circumstances, not your past, not the people around you. It's you. Every time you feel stuck, every time you think that success is just out of reach, the truth is simple. You're the one keeping yourself there. This isn't easy to hear, but it's necessary, because the moment you accept this truth, everything changes. The moment you realize that you have the power to move yourself forward, no one else has that power, you stop being a passive observer in your life and become the active creator of your future. Let's take a moment and think about someone like Albert Einstein, a man widely considered to be one of the greatest minds to ever live. But did you know that in his early years, Einstein struggled? He was a poor student, rejected by multiple universities and dismissed by many of his peers. Yet what separated Einstein from the crowd wasn't his intellect. It was his refusal to let external opinions control his journey. He didn't let rejection define him. He didn't listen to those who told him he wasn't enough. He kept going because he knew deep down that the only person who could hold him back was himself. Now, think about your life for a second. How many times have you let someone else's opinion of you dictate what you thought was possible? How often have you stopped yourself from pursuing something you were passionate about because you feared what others would think? How many opportunities have you let slip by because you didn't believe you were ready or worthy? But here's the harsh reality. If you keep waiting for the approval of others, you'll never truly step into your power. People will tell you it's too hard, that it's too risky, that you're not good enough. But those voices, those aren't your truths. Those are just the limitations they've placed on themselves, and they're trying to impose them on you. Take a look at Steve Jobs. Here was a man who had the world telling him he was crazy. He was fired from the company he founded. He faced financial ruin. And yet, instead of listening to the doubters, he took ownership of his vision. He refused to accept limitations. Jobs knew that the only thing that could hold him back was his own willingness to quit. He wasn't afraid to take risks, fail, and fail again. He embraced the setbacks because he understood that every single failure was just part of the process of achieving something extraordinary. The truth is, you're already capable of achieving more than you believe. The only thing you need to do is stop limiting yourself. Your beliefs are the chains that keep you confined to your current reality. And if you want to break free, you have to start with the belief that you can. If you want to go from good to great, from where you are now to where you want to be, you have to stop waiting for permission, stop waiting for the right time, and start believing that you are the only thing holding yourself back. So let me ask you, what would happen if you stopped being the obstacle? What would happen if you started showing up for yourself even when you didn't feel ready? What would happen if you trusted your own power and acted on it? It's time to stop being your own biggest enemy. The moment you take full ownership of your life, your actions, your choices, your decisions, nothing can stop you. The only thing standing between you and the success you want is the decision to stop letting your fears, doubts, and past experiences hold you back. It's time to stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're good enough. You already are. You are the one holding the key to your future. It's time to take it. Laziness doesn't announce itself. It doesn't barge into your life with a loud, disruptive presence. No, laziness creeps in quietly, subtly, almost like a whisper in your ear. You can do it tomorrow. Just take a break. You deserve it. It's not that important right now. And before you know it, the moments you could have spent building your dream are gone. You waste your potential one small insignificant excuse at a time. And that, my friend, is how dreams die. Slowly, silently, and without warning. Laziness is the most dangerous enemy because it hides behind justifications. You think, I'm tired today, or I'll get to it later, or it's not a big deal, just one more day won't hurt. The problem with these thoughts is that little by little, you begin to convince yourself that your dreams aren't urgent, that your potential doesn't matter, or that there's always more time. But time waits for no one. Every moment you give to laziness is a moment you'll never get back. Look at Michael Jordan. The man is widely regarded as the greatest basketball player to ever live. But do you think he became that way by choosing the easy path, by taking shortcuts? Absolutely not. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He was told he wasn't good enough. But what did he do? He didn't take a break and wallow in self-pity. He didn't give in to laziness and tell himself, I'll just never be good enough. Instead, he worked harder. He showed up earlier. He practiced longer. He didn't let laziness whisper in his ear because he knew that greatness wasn't achieved by waiting. It was earned through relentless action. Now, let's talk about you. Every time you choose comfort over action, every time you decide that tomorrow is the better day to chase your dreams, you're doing exactly what everyone else does. Most people live in a world where they allow themselves to be constantly distracted, to be constantly too tired, to take a break. But you're not just anyone. You have something more inside of you. The difference between you and the average person isn't your potential. It's your willingness to fight laziness when it comes knocking. I know it feels easier to delay things. You feel overwhelmed, tired, distracted, and you think, I'll tackle this tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes never. The truth is, every time you delay your work, you're telling your dreams that they don't matter. And your dreams deserve better than that. Your future deserves better than that. Look at Oprah Winfrey, another person who faced rejection and adversity, but never gave up. Oprah worked tirelessly, even when no one believed in her, even when she faced obstacles that could have crushed anyone else. She didn't give in to the comfort of laziness. She fought through the exhaustion, the criticism, and the doubts. And now she's not just a television personality, she's a global icon. Oprah didn't let laziness control her path, and that decision is why she's one of the most successful and influential people in the world. You have that same power within you. The next time you feel laziness knocking at your door, remember, you have a choice. You can either give in to it and continue letting your dreams fade, or you can decide right now to push through, to take action, no matter how small the step. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up. It's about deciding that today is the day you move forward, no matter how tired or distracted you may feel. Laziness kills dreams, but action, however small, breathes life into them. Today you have a choice. Do you let laziness rob you of your future, or do you take the first step, no matter how hard it feels? The decision is yours. What are you waiting for? The time to act is now. Discipline is not about restriction. It's not about being boxed in or about depriving yourself of the things you enjoy. Discipline is the gateway to freedom. The freedom to live life on your own terms, to achieve your goals, and to become the person you're truly capable of being. It's the structure you need to break free from chaos and mediocrity. Without discipline, you'll always be at the mercy of your impulses, your distractions, and your emotion. With discipline, you take control of your life. Think about the most successful people you know, or the ones you admire from afar. Do they get to where they are because they let themselves be governed by whims, desires, or convenience? No. They get there because they have the ability to delay gratification, to stay focused, and to consistently show up, even when they don't feel like it. Discipline is the muscle that allows you to act regardless of how you feel in the moment. Take Kobe Bryant, for example, one of the greatest basketball players in history. Kobe was known for his Mamba mentality, a relentless pursuit of greatness, no matter the obstacle. He didn't just rely on natural talent or waiting for motivation to strike. Kobe showed up every day, even when it was uncomfortable. He put in the hours, the effort, and the pain that most people would avoid. But it was that discipline, the daily commitment to get better no matter what, that gave him the freedom to dominate the game. Now, let's break this down. Discipline allows you to control your time, your actions, and your future. Think about your day. How much of it is truly within your control, and how much of it is spent reacting to others, to circumstances, or to your emotions? Without discipline, your time controls you. But with discipline, you control your time. You decide what gets your attention, what gets your energy, and what moves you closer to your goals. The people you admire didn't become successful because they waited for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. They became successful because they made disciplined decisions every single day, regardless of how they felt in the moment. Look at Tim Ferriss, an entrepreneur and author who has achieved incredible success. Tim doesn't just let life happen to him. He creates structure in his life through routines, focus, and setting clear priorities. He wakes up early, makes sure he works on the most important tasks first, and maintains a level of focus that most people can only dream of. That discipline gives him the freedom to take risks, to explore new projects, and to design the life he wants. He doesn't chase motivation. He creates habits that drive his success. But here's the thing, discipline is hard. It takes effort. It takes the ability to say no when you want to say yes. To make the tough choice when the easy way is so much more tempting. Discipline requires you to stay focused on the bigger picture and to make decisions today that your future self will thank you for. The magic of discipline is that it isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up, doing the work, and building momentum over time. The more you practice discipline, the more it becomes second nature. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you have. Freedom from distraction, freedom from procrastination, and freedom from the chaos that so many people live in. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you were disciplined in every area? If you applied discipline to your health, your finances, your career, your relationships, what could you accomplish if you made the decision to show up every single day and commit to your goals no matter what? Discipline isn't the absence of freedom, it's the path to it. The freedom to live a life of your own design, to achieve what others only dream of, and to create the success you've always wanted. So make the choice today. Choose discipline, because once you do, you unlock the freedom to live life on your own terms. We all crave comfort. It's human nature. We seek security, stability, and ease. But what most people don't realize is that comfort is the silent killer of growth. Comfort is not your sanctuary. It's your prison. It wraps you in a soft, deceptive cocoon, keeping you safe and sheltered while robbing you of the life you're truly capable of living. It keeps you stuck, stagnant, and trapped in a cycle of mediocrity while your potential cries out for something more. Think about it. When was the last time you made significant progress in your life without stepping out of your comfort zone? When was the last time you achieved something extraordinary while sitting back, playing it safe, and avoiding risk? The truth is, comfort keeps you from ever reaching your full potential. Let's take the story of Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, two companies that are literally changing the world. Do you think Musk became one of the most influential people of our time by staying comfortable? Absolutely not. He left behind a lucrative career in Silicon Valley to pursue ventures that seemed impossible to most people. SpaceX, for instance, was a risk that many believed would fail. But Musk understood something crucial. Nothing extraordinary comes from comfort. He knew that if he wanted to make a difference, he had to embrace discomfort, to step into the unknown and to take risks. Now think about your life. Where have you been playing it safe? Where have you chosen the easy path instead of the path that would force you to grow? The reality is the easy road is often the road that leads to nowhere. If you want to make a real impact in your life, if you want to accomplish something that matters, you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to take risks, to fail, to stumble, and to get back up. The path to greatness is always paved with discomfort. But I know, stepping outside of your comfort zone is terrifying. It feels unnatural. It's like a muscle you haven't used in a while. But here's the thing, the more you embrace discomfort, the more you start to crave it. Discomfort is where the magic happens. It's in the moments of uncertainty, fear, and challenge that you discover your strength. It's in those moments that you build resilience, adaptability, and character. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. Oprah's journey wasn't paved with comfort. She faced rejection after rejection. Early in her career, she was told she wasn't fit for television, that she didn't have what it takes to be a star, but she didn't let that feedback define her. Instead of staying in her comfortable little box, she kept pushing. She kept reinventing herself and her career. Oprah stepped out of her comfort zone time and time again, and that's why she became one of the most powerful women in the world. The truth is, your comfort zone is a prison, and the only way to escape it is to face the discomfort head on. Comfort keeps you chained to the familiar, even when the familiar isn't serving you. And while comfort might feel good in the moment, it's holding you back from experiencing the fullness of life. It's keeping you from the success, growth, and fulfillment you truly deserve. So I'm asking you today, what are you afraid of? What's the one thing you've been avoiding because it feels too uncomfortable? That's the thing you need to face head on. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for everything to feel right. Growth happens in the discomfort. Comfort is your prison, and the key to your freedom is embracing the discomfort. Step out of your prison. Your life will be waiting for you on the other side. Too many people think that success is this big, monumental event, a breakthrough that happens all at once. We're conditioned to believe that when we finally make it, everything will change in a single moment. But here's the truth. Success is built piece by piece, one small win at a time. It's the consistent small victories that accumulate and eventually lead to something extraordinary. If you focus on getting one thing right today, you're already on the path to a future you can't even imagine. Take a moment and think about your goals. What's the big dream you're working toward? Maybe it's getting fit, launching a business, or writing a book. It's easy to look at the gap between where you are and where you want to be and feel overwhelmed. The dream is huge and it seems so far away. But here's where small wins come into play. You don't have to win the entire battle today. All you need is to win the next step. Look at Serena Williams, one of the greatest tennis players in history. Serena didn't become a champion because she hit one perfect shot. It was the countless hours of practice, the small adjustments in her game, and the daily commitment to showing up and putting in the work. Each small win in practice, each improved serve or new tactic, built upon the last. When she stepped onto the court for her biggest matches, it wasn't the singular big win that got her there. It was the small victories stacked over time. Her success wasn't the result of one grand gesture. It was the sum of thousands of small wins. Small wins lead to momentum. And momentum, when harnessed correctly, is the most powerful force you can have in your life. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but the more it moves, the more it picks up speed. When you win once, it becomes easier to win again. And again, you build confidence, you build belief. And each small win gives you the momentum to face the next challenge. Think about James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. He talks about how small incremental improvements can lead to massive results. The idea is simple. You don't need to make huge changes all at once. Small, consistent improvements compound over time, eventually leading to radical transformation. If you can get 1% better every day, that small win compounds and makes a huge difference over time. So how can you apply this to your life? Let's say you want to get fit. You don't need to run a marathon tomorrow. You just need to put on your shoes and take a 10-minute walk today. That's a small win. And tomorrow you can walk for 12 minutes, the day after maybe 15. Each small step builds momentum, and soon that small win becomes a habit that fuels a bigger win. The key isn't perfection, it's consistency. Think about how this applies to your career. Maybe you want to launch a business, but the idea of it feels massive, overwhelming. You're not going to open a successful business overnight, but you can make one small step today, researching the market, brainstorming ideas, drafting a business plan. Each of these small wins brings you closer to the bigger goal. And before you know it, the little wins add up to something huge. So next time you feel overwhelmed by the enormity of your goals, remember, focus on the small wins. Win today, win this hour, win this minute. You don't have to get everything right at once. Just take that next step and soon you'll look back and realize you've come farther than you ever thought possible. Start small, build momentum, and trust that the compound effect will carry you to your dream. The power of small wins is where real lasting success begins. And the best part, you already have everything you need to start winning today. How often have you told yourself, I'll do it when I feel motivated? We've all been there. We think that motivation is some magical force that will come to us and make the hard work feel easier, as if one moment of inspiration will change everything. But here's the truth. Motivation doesn't just show up. You have to create it. It's not the starting point, it's the result of consistent action. The secret to success isn't waiting for motivation to strike. It's in creating momentum through small, deliberate steps that get you moving even when you don't feel like it. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you waited for the right moment to get started? How many times have you told yourself, I'll begin my workout next week, or I'll start my business after I learn just a little more? We tell ourselves that we need motivation or inspiration to take action. But what if I told you that the real secret to success isn't waiting for motivation, but taking action even when you don't feel like it? Think about Mel Robbins, the author of the 5-second rule. She was struggling, feeling stuck in her life, and couldn't find the energy or motivation to take action. But one day she had a breakthrough. She realized that waiting for motivation wasn't working, so she created a system. She began taking action within 5 seconds of feeling the impulse to do something. It didn't matter if she felt motivated or not. She knew that by forcing herself to act quickly, she could create momentum. And that simple rule changed her life. It shifted her from a place of inertia to a place of action. The act of moving, no matter how small the step, created the energy to keep going. This isn't just theory, it's grounded in psychology. Action breeds motivation. When you're moving, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone that makes you feel energized and accomplished. The more you act, the more motivation you create. So rather than waiting for motivation to strike, you have to get moving to trigger that feeling. Momentum doesn't come before the action, it comes because of it. Think of Richard Branson, the billionaire entrepreneur and founder of Virgin Group. Do you think Branson wakes up every morning feeling motivated to run multiple companies? I highly doubt it. What he does is simple. He shows up and takes action, whether he feels like it or not. He creates momentum every day by making decisions, taking risks, and acting. Branson didn't build his empire by waiting for the perfect moment to start. He created momentum by simply starting, and that momentum carried him through obstacles, setbacks, and doubts. You see, motivation often feels elusive because it's tied to emotions, but emotions are fleeting. If you rely solely on motivation, you're putting your success in the hands of your emotions. One day you'll feel inspired, the next day you'll feel drained. That's why waiting for motivation is a dangerous game. The key is to stop relying on motivation and start building momentum through consistent action. Think about your own life. What have you been putting off because you're waiting for that wave of inspiration? That dream you've been putting off for months or years? That project you keep pushing to the back burner? You have the power to create momentum today. Start with the smallest step. Just one thing you can do right now, even if it's tiny, because the first step is the hardest, but once you take it, the next one becomes easier. The more action you take, the more motivation you will feel. So stop waiting for the magic moment. Stop waiting for motivation to show up. Create momentum by taking action, even when you don't feel like it, because ultimately the biggest breakthroughs in your life won't come from waiting. They'll come from moving. And when you start moving, that's when the energy, the motivation, and the momentum you've been waiting for will follow. Success isn't about a single brilliant moment or an overnight breakthrough. Success is about showing up day after day, week after week, month after month, and committing to the process even when it feels hard, even when you don't see immediate results. Success demands consistency. It's not the big dramatic gestures that lead to greatness. It's the quiet, often unseen work that you put in every single day. Take a moment and think about Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. Phelps didn't win 23 gold medals because of one moment of inspiration. He didn't step onto the starting block thinking, today is the day I break the world record. No, Michael Phelps became the legend he is through years of consistent practice. Even when he didn't feel like it, even when it was grueling, even when the competition seemed unbeatable. It was the daily commitment to show up and put in the work, the countless hours of swimming laps, of improving his technique, of pushing his body to the limits that created the foundation for his success. The consistency of his effort, day in and day out, is what made him great. But here's where the power lies. It wasn't just about his physical ability. It was his commitment to consistency. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of big dreams, to think that one huge breakthrough will get us to the top. But the truth is, no matter how much talent you have, no matter how many amazing ideas you come up with, without consistent action, nothing happens. Whether you're training for a sport, building a business, or mastering a skill, the key to long-term success isn't about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do every single day. Think about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She was rejected by 12 publishers before her book was picked up, but she kept writing. She didn't give up after the first rejection, the second, the 10th. Every time someone told her no, she stayed consistent in her belief and her writing. Consistency is what allowed her to push through the doubt, to keep going when everything around her suggested she should quit. And look at her now. Harry Potter is one of the most successful book series of all time. Consistency breeds confidence. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You create trust in yourself. It's in those quiet moments of repetition, of doing something over and over again, that you begin to understand the depth of your potential. It's in those moments that you start to see results, sometimes small, but always compounding. But here's the most important part. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean that every day will be perfect, that every effort will lead to immediate results. Success doesn't happen in perfect bursts. It happens through persistent effort, through the willingness to show up even when you feel tired, defeated, or uninspired. It's the ability to keep going after you've faced setbacks, after you've hit walls, after you've made mistakes. Because when you stay consistent, you build resilience. And resilience is what turns failure into growth. Look at Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in the world. Buffett didn't become a billionaire by making huge, flashy moves every day. He got there by making steady, consistent investments over decades. He didn't panic during market downturns. He stuck to his principles and kept showing up, doing the work, making decisions based on consistent strategies. So what does this mean for you? Success is not about waiting for the perfect moment or relying on fleeting bursts of motivation. Success is about showing up every single day and doing the work. It's about staying consistent, even when it feels like the results aren't coming fast enough. The small actions you take today, when compounded over time, will create the momentum needed to get you to where you want to be. Now ask yourself, what can you do today to be consistent? What is the next small step you can take that will add to the momentum of your success? Remember, success demands consistency. It's not a one-time effort, it's a lifetime commitment. Show up, put in the work, and let your consistency build the future you want. We all know the feeling, that nagging voice in the back of your mind telling you, I'll do it tomorrow. You know you need to get something done, but instead of taking action, you put it off again and again. Procrastination is the silent killer of progress. It promises comfort, but it only creates stress and regret. It tricks you into thinking there's always more time, that the task can wait. But in reality, the longer you delay, the harder it becomes to take action. Take a moment and think about the last time you procrastinated. How did it feel? Maybe you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But as tomorrow came, you found more distractions, more reasons to delay. The truth is, procrastination is not about laziness. It's about fear, self-doubt, and avoidance. We procrastinate because we're afraid of failing, of not doing something perfectly, or of facing the discomfort that comes with hard work. So instead of taking action, we choose the easy road. And in the short term, it feels better. But in the long term, it drains us emotionally, mentally, and even physically. Think about someone like Steve Jobs, a man who changed the world not by waiting, but by acting. Jobs wasn't immune to the temptations of procrastination. He faced massive challenges and setbacks, some of them devastating. But he understood the difference between thinking about an idea and making that idea a reality. Jobs didn't wait for the perfect moment to act, he created. Every day he pushed past fear, doubt, and discomfort to keep moving forward, even when everything around him seemed impossible. That's the power of taking consistent action, even in the face of uncertainty. You see, procrastination is not about time, it's about mindset. The longer you wait, the more you let fear take control. When you're in a cycle of procrastination, you're letting fear dictate your actions. You're telling yourself that you're not ready, that you don't have enough knowledge or skill, that you'll fail. But here's the harsh truth. The more you wait, the more the fear grows. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The only way to break the cycle is to act, even when you don't feel ready. Action creates momentum, and momentum crushes fear. Think about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She was rejected by 12 publishers before her book was picked up. But imagine if she had procrastinated on her dream. Imagine if she had given in to the voice of self-doubt that told her she wasn't good enough. Instead, she took action every single day. She didn't wait for approval. She kept writing, kept believing, and kept pushing forward. That's what separates successful people from those who remain stuck. The willingness to take action, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. So how do you break free from the cycle of procrastination? The first step is to recognize that waiting for motivation won't help. You have to create momentum by taking one small step forward. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Don't wait for the right time. The right time is always now. If you wait for motivation to come to you, you'll be waiting forever. Motivation comes when you start moving, when you take that first step, even if it's small. Start with the smallest action possible. The key is to begin. Remember, procrastination doesn't just waste time, it wastes your potential. Every moment you put off your dreams, you're telling yourself that they aren't worth pursuing. Every time you delay, you give fear a stronger hold over your future. But when you break that cycle, you start moving toward everything you've ever wanted. You start moving toward the life you've always dreamed of. So what's that one thing you've been putting off? What's that task, that project, that dream that's waiting for you? Today is the day to stop procrastinating. Take action. Take that first step. Don't wait for motivation. Create it. Because the longer you wait, the further away your dreams become. And the moment you decide to break free from procrastination, you unlock the power to create the future you've always wanted.